saw one game right here, this Red Steel game for $5. I actually spotted a couple of these SmackDown vs. Raw games, and these actually spotted right away a Wii Sports, which appear to be in brand new. What's up, everyone? It's Austin, and we are back with another episode of my $10 Nintendo Collection series. We've had a blast so far, game hunting, looking for items to flip, and building up this huge Nintendo collection. To start off this video, I just got a really quick unboxing of this really cool collector edition game that I just purchased. Some of you may not know what this is right here, but this is the Retro Realms Halloween and Ash vs. Evil game. I first saw this at a GameStop sitting on the shelf, and I was like, what in the world is that? I need to have that. This thing retailed originally at around 80 to 90 bucks. The game alone was priced at around $60, and there was a lot of backlash and feedback from the gaming community saying that this game was just a little bit too short. There wasn't enough content for it to be priced at around $60. And so they lowered the price of this by a bit. During the holiday season, GameStop actually brought this price down to $60. So I got this entire collector box for $60, and just want to do a quick unboxing with you guys. I'm going to quickly take off the plastic and show you guys the back of this box. It's like a slip cover, but that's that right there. Here's the sides, here's the front. This is just a really cool piece. Big fan of Halloween and like horror slasher movies. I actually haven't seen the Ash vs. Evil Dead movies or TV show. I believe it's like a TV show. I know the Evil Dead movies are pretty gory. I think I've seen like the latest one, but yeah, just haven't found myself time to watch the other ones. And let me go ahead and open this up, and whoa, okay, so we got this Michael Myers plush right here. Well, that's awesome, just like a nice little addition to this. Yeah, I've seen plenty of the Halloween movies. I've seen like the original one, and then I watched like the new trilogy, the 3 trilogy movies, and those were okay, I guess. Nothing beats the original. And then the rest of the stuff we got in here, we got the game right here. You can probably pick this game up for around $30 now. They lowered the price in half from 60 to 30, so if you want to check this out, it's a pretty decent game, that's what I heard. So this is pretty much a 2D platformer slasher kind of game where you get to play as Michael Myers and probably Ash. There's like 7 or 8 levels that you get to play, and yeah, I'm excited to check this thing out. I'm not the biggest fan of like 2D platformers and level type of games. Enter the Retro Realms and take control as horror icons Michael Myers and Ash Williams in 2 separate games filled with over-the-top arcade action. There you have it. And then you also have this poster. Nothing too special, just like a nice little Halloween poster. Pumpkin on there. Nothing on the back. Okay, and there you have it. You got this card pack, which I am going to open that up right now too. Now, I'm not exactly sure what characters I'm going to get. I don't really know too many characters from Halloween or the Ash vs. Evil show. Of course, we got Michael Myers as Boogeyman. We've got, let me go a little closer, another Michael Myers from the Shadows. The main girl in the Halloween series, Babysitter. We've got Dr. Samuel Loomis, so the doctor person in the Halloween movies. He has a permit. We've got Phelps Jr., He'll Fix You. I guess these are all characters from Halloween. I don't remember a lot of them. And then we've got Mr. F, They All Broke Out. Not sure what that is from. Overlord, Judith's Spirit. And then we're back to the front. But yeah, now that I've opened it, I can finally check out the game and see how well it plays. To start off our week, we got one sale so far, and it's actually down here. This Ratchet and Clank Up Your Arsenal. Missing a manual, but still sold for around 15 bucks. We picked it up for 3 or 4 bucks at a flea market. So after eBay fees and shipping, this is how much we'll get to add back to our collection. Alright, we are here at the SuperThrift store today, taking a peek at their glass case. Haven't really found much here recently. They don't have too much over there, but got some third-party PS3 controllers for $4, so not bad. Up here though, we got some stuff. some PlayStation games, and in here I see one game that I'm interested in, which is that Lord of the Rings Conquest game. I know that one might hold some value still. May have to ask to see the rest of the games. I see like some disc games back there. Lord of the Rings one. Yeah.
There you go, sir.
And then can I also have a look at some of these loose or the disc games down in the back row? Yeah, just like that stack, I guess. See some PC games mostly for this. Yeah, maybe it's all just PC games. So I usually check out this store on Wednesdays because they run a $1 shoe sale. So all these shoes are $1 a piece, and sometimes you can score big on some $1 shoes. From what I'm seeing though, there are a couple like these Brooks shoes which would be pretty good, but they are some huge sizes. This is like a size 13. It's in okay condition. Would probably pass up on this one, but this one right here is actually pretty clean. I'm only seeing one pair though, so not sure what happened to that other pair. I'll dig around. If I find it, could possibly be a pickup for $1.
Did you find what you want?
Yeah, just this one.
Video game, $2.99. You like to keep up with your points rewards?
This week we made a visit to northern Wisconsin, and every time I'm up here I always have to check out these e-ways, sales, and pawn shop. I very often find very good video game deals here. Checking out the PlayStation 4 section first, and they had a lot of these priced at the market rate, but check out this Horizon game for $4. I feel like that's a really good deal. Just kind of scanning through this time around to see if I could find any profitable items, any games with a lot of value. Didn't see too much in the PlayStation 4 section. Gonna quickly show you guys the Xbox section as well. I saw this Batman Return to Arkham for $5 and was tempted to pick this one up. I feel like they'll give me a little bit of a deal on this game too, so the game values for around 15-ish. Next, checking out the PlayStation 3, and right off the bat, this NBA 2K18. Always look out for this one. Values for around 15 to 20 since it is the last NBA 2K game on the PlayStation 3. They had a ton of Madden games too, and was on the lookout for the latest ones. Found this Fallout 3 Game of the Year edition on the PlayStation 3 for $3. I feel like that's a good deal. This game has all the DLC for Fallout 3. Was also in pretty good condition, and values for around like 15-ish, I believe. It's pretty much just gonna make a pile and see what kind of deal they can get for me. I actually spotted a couple of these SmackDown vs. Raw games, and these actually do have some value on the PS3. This 2011 game, which was also complete, as you guys can see. Always gotta check the condition. And then you also had SmackDown vs. Raw 2008. This one was not complete, missing a manual. I think this one holds a little bit more value than the other one though. And then the rest of these just wasn't worth it. Lastly, I found NCAA Basketball 10. I rarely find this game. I scanned this one up on eBay and did not realize how much it was going for. And for a $350, that's already a steal for this. Next in the Xbox 360 section, I didn't see too much. I actually spotted Lollipop Chainsaw, and they had it for $40. I think this game did go down a bit since the new one is releasing, the remake. They also have this glass case over here with some of the cartridge Nintendo games, some N64 games for pretty cheap. but nothing too crazy in here. Just gonna quickly go through these with you guys. All in all, just didn't really find much in here worth picking up. So yeah, just actually passed up on all of this stuff.
Loan. Yeah, it will be a 4% fee on card. It'll be 13.17.
Okay, cool. Back at our game showcase, and we just made a ton of sales. It's actually the Monday after Black Friday, and made a good amount of sales over the weekend. We sold some items over here first. The first one is going to be this Resident Evil 2 on the Xbox One. This one sold pretty quick for around 15 bucks. And I believe we picked it up for like 3 bucks at a pawn shop. The second item we sold is going to be this one right here. This Cabela's Outdoor Adventures. Surprisingly, this one sold for $15. And we picked it up for 3 bucks at a Goodwill. The third item we sold is going to be this Marvel Iron Man VR. This one sold for around 14 bucks, and we picked it up for 3 bucks at a Goodwill. Then we got some higher value items down here. We got FIFA 18, probably our biggest sale out of this lot. We sold this one for around $29.50, I believe, and we picked it up for $1 at the bins. Huge win on that. And then the last item we sold is going to be this right here, this Warcraft The Dark Saga 2 on the PlayStation 1, missing like the front cover even. But this one sold for $23.50, and we got it for like 3 bucks at a flea market. So not a bad lot of sales. Gonna get these all packaged and shipped. After eBay fees and shipping, this is how much we'll get to add back to our game fund. We had to make a visit to another eWay sales and pawn shop. These shops are pretty close to each other, so I always take time to visit them when I'm up north. Found this Left 4 Dead already, and also Fallout 3 Game of the Year edition again, but this time on the 360. Had to check the conditions of both of these first. Gonna quickly scan over the Xbox 360 section and PS3 with you guys. See if there's anything worth picking up. A lot of these games on this rack was around $3, so already pretty cheap. I think they mainly just throw the sports titles on here. Down underneath was the Wii section, and I actually spotted right away a Wii Sports, which appeared to be in brand new and sealed condition for 7 bucks. After taking a better look at it, I realized that it wasn't new. Also found this Wii Sports Resort for 5 bucks. Really easy pickup. Anytime we can find these for a cheap price, they definitely flip really fast on eBay as well. Didn't see much else after this though. And then lastly, just going to show you guys what they had in their glass display case. Looking for some Nintendo franchise games, but unfortunately a lot of these games were more on the pricier side, so just decided to pass up on a lot of this stuff. Yeah, I think one of them you put like a sealed. I don't think that's like an actual seal. It might be more of like a reseal, but I'm not 100%
This one's
sure
the reason why this one's this way is it's from Wii. The Wii Sports literally just came inside of a box like this.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So that is how it actually came.
That's how. This is how they come in. They vacuum seal these things.
Okay.
So on cards, just to let you know, is a 4% fee.
Okay. That's
So
fine.
15, an extra 60 cents.
Okay. Alright guys, so today we are out here at a Mega Media XChange and looking over some of these Nintendo cartridge games. Wow, just saw that Arkham Origins Collector's Edition. Haven't seen that before, but over here we got the NES games, and already spent some time looking through some of these. They actually have a pretty good selection of games today, and gonna scroll over all of this with you guys. Some really cheap ones as well. a lot of these games seem to be on the lower end in terms of price. So then over here we got the Super Nintendo. They tend to not have that much Super Nintendo games over here. But yeah, they got some lower end games. So could possibly just pick up some lower end games today. I wouldn't mind picking up some new ones to add to our collection. I'm gonna show you guys their Wii section too, and one game that I saw right away is this Animal Crossing City Folk, which we do not have a Animal Crossing game in the collection yet. So for 20 bucks, this could be a possible pickup. Seems to be complete as well. I haven't really played any of the Animal Crossing games, so I don't know if this is a good one or not. We'll hang on to it though. Over here though, I saw one game right here, this Red Steel game for 5 bucks. I'm really tempted to grab this one too. It just looks like a really cool Wii game, and I think I've heard some good things about this game. Not fully sure though. And then we got some GameCube games over here. You got these Crash games for pretty cheap too, 12 bucks for this. Nitro Karts was one of my favorite Crash games. I played this on the 360 quite a bit. Just a fun kart racer game, I guess. We got these Switch games over here, and check out that Nintendo World Championship Edition. This special edition, I guess, for 100 bucks. I did not see that online when I initially purchased mine. Here we got some Switch games and some Assassin's Creed games for around 10-ish bucks. I was also seeing this Fire Emblem 3 Houses for 40, which could be a pickup. What else we got down here? Skyward Sword HD. So for this stop, I think I'm going to make it a little bit more fun. Not just going to pick up some higher end Nintendo franchise games. I think I'm going to pick a game from a Super Nintendo and NES just to add to our collection, maybe some lower end games. And some games that kind of just stick out and look interesting to me. It's kind of the fun part about collecting is picking up new games and learning about them. So I guess the game in the Super Nintendo section that I was looking at is, it's going to be this Lion King game on the Super Nintendo. I actually do remember playing that game way back with friends and cousins, and it's a pretty popular game, I'd say, on the Super Nintendo, so it should be a fun one just to add to the collection. And then over here in the Super Nintendo section, scanned through a lot of these. There's a lot of really good games in here as well. But I guess the game that I landed on was down here. It's going to be this Xenophobe game. I've heard it wasn't that great of a game, but the cover looks really cool. Developed by Sunsoft, so may end up picking it up, giving it a chance. Since I couldn't find an N64 game, I probably will just grab this Crash Nitro Karts game for 12 bucks. Another childhood favorite of mine. So in total, that should add up to around 4 games that we're grabbing here. Not a bad stop.
But all 4 here are at $52.51. I just have to grab the disc and make sure they're clean.
Okay, sounds good. We're back in the game room, guys, and we had a really nice haul of video games for this week. Let's go over all of them right now. At our first stop, we went to SuperThrift, which I haven't really been finding much stuff at that thrift store lately, but I spotted one game that caught my eye, and it was this Lord of the Rings Conquest on PlayStation 3. Holds a little bit of value still, around $20-ish. This is probably the most underrated Lord of the Rings game, still a lot of fun. This is pretty much a reskin of Star Wars Battlefront, so if you enjoy the Battlefront games, this is just a ton of multiplayer, third-person fighting and combat. You get to play with a ton of your favorite Lord of the Rings characters. Not the most advanced or in-depth game, but for you Lord of the Rings fans like me, this is perfect for you. For our next 2 stops, we were actually out of town this week, visiting family for Thanksgiving, and every time I'm up north in Wisconsin, I have to check out these e-ways, sales, and pawn shops. They're always so willing to give out deals whenever I purchase video games because these things have probably been sitting on the shelves for so long. The first store we went to, they gave us all these games for $2 a piece, which is such a great deal. We picked up SmackDown vs. Raw 2008 featuring ECW. For some reason, this ECW game holds a bit more value than the other ones. I actually played this one a ton and actually played a little bit of online with this as well. We also got SmackDown vs. Raw 2011. This one is also a pretty popular one apparently. apparently. Then we picked up NBA 2K18 on the PS3. This is the last 2K game on the PlayStation 3, and I believe this game went down a little bit in value, but still goes for around like 20 to 25, I'd say. Next, we picked up NCAA Basketball 10. I rarely find this game, and it still does hold a ton of value. I'm not sure where it sits at right now, but look at the prices on this. This is like $3.50 for this, and they also gave us a deal on this on top of that. So yeah, really happy with this stop and pickup. Next, we got this Batman Return to Arkham. $5 is a little bit high on this, but I was betting on them giving me a deal. So for $2, a lot better of a price, and really happy with this pickup. And then lastly at that stop, we picked up Fallout 3 Game of the Year Edition. I know these Fallout games have been going up in value ever since the show dropped. The Game of the Year Edition is such a great one to have, and it comes with all the DLC. There's 5 DLCs, and they're all amazing. At the second eWay Sales and Pawn Shop, we picked up 5 more games, and these were all $3 a piece. We got this Fallout 3 Game of the Year Edition on the Xbox 360. Again, such a great edition to have on the game. We picked up a copy of Left 4 Dead. Apparently this one has been going up in value a little bit, and for $3, it's a pretty good deal. This game has been out for so long, still an amazing game, but how many of you guys are still playing these Left 4 Dead games? Forgot I picked up this next one, but it was Need for Speed Carbon on the Xbox 360. But yeah, apparently like Most Wanted and Need for Speed Carbon do hold a little bit of value on the 360. I played Carbon a ton on the original Xbox, and this is probably the last Need for Speed game that I really dove into and played a ton. And then lastly, we got some Wii Sport games. We got Wii Sport Resort for $5. Great price. Is missing a manual though, unfortunately. And then this Wii Sports copy is kind of a strange one. It was actually sealed and like resealed. I was talking to the people at the store, trying to explain to them that this actually was not brand new. Some things were really throwing me off, but they kept trying to tell me that it was brand new because someone had brought it in with a bundle. I wanted to open the resealed plastic on this, but at the same time, it was $3, so I didn't really mind it. When I brought this game home, I inspected it more carefully, and you guys can kind of tell, like, this is a reprinted cover art, and it's got, like, these lines on the side to show where you're supposed to cut, pretty much. And it's just a little bit more faded, does not look official at all. So when I saw that and it was sealed, one thing I feared was the game wasn't going to be in here. I mean, anyone could have just brought in resealed the game, said it was new, and replaced the game with a different game, but luckily, the game is in here. And also one big giveaway that this wasn't brand new was there's some scratches on the game. So that was obvious. We got just so many games this week. For our last stop, we made a visit to Mega Media XChange and looked for some Nintendo games to finally add to our collection. We like rarely find Nintendo games to add to our collection nowadays. But the first game we picked up was a Super Nintendo game called Lion King. This is one of the very few Super Nintendo games that I do remember playing with friends and family. Regarded as a pretty difficult game, but a lot of fun. The graphics and animation for this game were amazing. The sound and music, it was pretty much just the music from the movies, but was put in the game very well. And for $10 was an easy one to pick up and add to the collection. The next game we picked up is a game called Xenophobe. Never heard of this game before, never seen it, never played it, and for $8 decided to grab it. Apparently this is like a port of an arcade game. It features split screen action, 2-player interactive, but it's pretty much just a 2D game. You have a gun and you just shoot aliens, and you have to try to kill all of them in each level. Since it is an arcade game, you just try to score points and try to get the most points. Next, we got a GameCube game for $12, and this is Crash Nitro Karts. I actually did play this one a ton. Back in this era, there were just so many racing video games. I remember Mad Dash on the original Xbox was a ton of fun. Freaky Flyers. You had Sonic Riders was a really popular one. And then you had this Crash Nitro Kart Racing. Just so cool to see all the different unique features that they add to these racing games. Compares a little bit to Mario Kart as well. And then lastly, we picked up our first Animal Crossing game. Animal Crossing City Folk on the Wii. I haven't played too much Animal Crossing, but this is your standard chill game to play. A time passer game pretty much. You just go foraging, you go fishing, catching bugs, cutting down trees, and just interacting with the area, the city. This game includes like the city portion where you can go and interact with all the other characters in the game. Gonna get all these games added to the shelf right now, and also put one tally to the Animal Crossing game. Such a great week of pickups. We got a ton of stuff that we're gonna throw on eBay and hopefully build up our game fund. But yeah, another week down. Thank you guys all for tuning in. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you all on the next one.